As If, A Girl's View, where we talk about everything girls. Now that 1993 has come to an end, we're going to spend this episode looking back at the year. First, we'll talk about some major news events.
Hey guys, 1993 is almost over, and it was full of important events throughout the world. Even though some of the stuff that we're going to talk about isn't very happy, we always have to look at the progress we've made and keep looking towards 1994. There was serious unrest in the countries of Somalia, Bosnia, and Ireland this year. All three countries were faced with tremendous violence stemming from racial and religious hatred. In Somalia, the United Nations has been trying to bring peace, but radical forces have kept the UN from bringing aid to the masses of starving people. Recently, President Clinton has decided to pull all US troops out of Somalia because it has just become too dangerous. In Bosnia, there is also a United Nations presence. Bosnia is dealing with a three-way battle between the Serbs, the Croats, and the Muslims, all three different religious sects. At certain points, there were literally human barriers keeping the UN relief at bay. And finally, Ireland has entered its 23rd year of religious unrest called the Troubles. Acts of violence between Catholics and Protestants have cost the lives of many, including some young, innocent children. In happier news, the US has a new president. In America, we have transitioned from George Bush to Bill Clinton. Clinton has already been faced with some tough issues and had to make several large changes. He has pledged to allow gay servicemen and women to serve in our armed forces. His biggest challenge so far was getting the North American Free Trade Agreement to pass, but eventually it did. Clinton has also called for stricter immigration laws and border patrols. On February 26, the World Trade Center was attacked. A small group of terrorists placed a bomb in the parking garage of the center, detonating it a little after noon. 6 people were killed instantly and over 1,000 were injured. Our country is still recovering from these attacks. Natural disasters also rocked the world this year. Widespread floods hit the Midwest, United States, and Europe. Earthquakes in India and Japan left over 10,000 dead. And also, the Siberian nuclear waste explosion was the worst we've seen since Chernobyl. Finally, we end with a story that brings hope for a peaceful future. In South Africa, Israel and Palestine, movements towards peace have begun. Nelson Mandela and President F.W. de Klerk's collaboration has led to a new constitution that primarily focuses on equal rights. South Africa is set to have their first non-race divided general election next year. And Israel and Palestine leaders met and signed a peace treaty accord, although there is still unrest in both places. We will be looking to all of these countries and to the United States in the future to hope for peace in 1994.
Now let's take a look back at some of the memorable people of the year. We've seen some flashbacks to major news events of 1993, but what about the people that made news headlines? Let's take a look at our favorite celebrity icons and heartthrobs of the year. First off, there's been a lot of uproar lately centered around our favorite pop icon, Michael Jackson. In the summer of this year, he was accused of child molestation of a 13-year-old boy. Michael denies the accusation, but the police will continue their investigations. Early in December, Michael released a video from his ranch in California which said,
"Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent."
In other news, a new face has hit fashion magazines with a bang this year. The 19-year-old model, Kate Moss, started a new campaign with Calvin Klein and has been a new fashion icon, famous for her heroin chic look. Of course, we can't forget Madonna. This year, her tour, The Girly Show, debuted in Europe, Asia, North America, South America, and Australia. Box office totals reached 70 million. Her single releases in 1993 include Fever, Rain, and Bye Bye Baby. Meanwhile, our favorite 90210 actress, Shannon Doherty, had an eventful year along with shooting the TV show. In January, she was taken to court for bouncing 70 checks and owed the bank $36,000. Despite this, she married Ashley Hamilton on the 11th of October. It must have been an expensive wedding. Back on the music scene, Barbra Streisand, who announced Bill Clinton at his inauguration, announced her first concert appearance in 27 years in 1993. She also released her album Back to Broadway in June. Now it's time for every girl's favorite part. Let's take a look at the teen heartthrobs of 1993. Jason Priestley co-stars along Shannon Doherty in 90210, and this year he was nominated for the Best Performance by an Actor in a TV series. Competing with Priestley to be the most loved heartthrob is Tyson Beckford. He is a teen polo model but just hit magazines this year, recruited by Ralph Lauren. In a recent magazine, he was quoted, "Being a teen model is fun, but you have to wonder what they see in you." Let's not forget about the loved JTT, or rather, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He says, "If anyone calls me JTT, they don't really know me. They just got tired of writing my name." This year, he won a Young Artist Award for Best Young Actor starring in a TV series for his show Home Improvement. That said, 1993 marked a sad year with a high number of celebrity deaths. So let's take a moment to look at a few that hit hardest. First, the esteemed actress Audrey Hepburn, born in 1929, passed away on the 20th of January 1993 at the age of 63 from abdominal cancer. She appeared in many movies throughout her lifetime, but towards the end of her days became an involved humanitarian. All the way up until 1992, she worked in the disadvantaged areas of Africa, South America, and Asia. Dizzy Gillespie, a jazz musician highly famous for his talent on trumpet, passed away January 6th from pancreatic cancer. Before his death, he made profound changes to the jazz genre and became a music ambassador for the U.S. Former First Lady Patricia Nixon also passed away this year due to cancer on June 22nd. All right. Now that we've heard about important people in 1993, let's review other important topics.
1993 was a big year for toys, with many new releases as well as old favorites making their way into families' homes. One of the biggest releases for this year was TY's launching of Beanie Babies. Some other releases were the Aladdin game, Little Tech Minivan, Barbie's Little Sister, Party and Play Stacy, and Western Barbie and Western Star Wars.
Barbie dolls sold separate.
Some older favorites that were still very popular in 1993 include the Easy Bake Oven, Game Boy, Pogs,
make the world's biggest, coolest collection. It's a pot milk cap and bake,
and the Super Soaker. In 1993, the government changed the face of education by enacting the Government Performance and Results Act, which was a performance-based budgeting that applied to all agencies and programs of the federal government, with the goal to improve the competence of the American people and the capabilities of the federal government by holding federal agencies accountable for achieving program goals. 1993 also brought many new inventions and technology that greatly impacted the lives of everyone. One of the biggest additions to technology this year was the public use of the World Wide Web.
Millions of people with personal computers to communicate and connect.
Some other inventions of this year include Microsoft introducing Windows NT 3.1 and the Pentium microprocessor by Intel. 1993 was also a year that included many breakthroughs in the world of science. AIDS became known as the leading killer of men, and genetic engineers began to unravel the mystery of human DNA. They were able to pinpoint the genes that cause Lou Gehrig's disease, Huntington's disease, colon cancer, hyperactivity, and a type of diabetes, which altogether created a rough map of the human chromosomes. Also on the topic of DNA, 2 American scientists cloned the first human embryo.
Now let's go to Mallory's Corner to see what it was like to be a girl in 1993.
This past year was both fabulous and terribly tragic. We had so many great things happen. First of all, we got a new president. Hopefully this Clinton guy is really good. We got some TV shows that seemed really promising. I watched the first season of Boy Meets World, and it was just fantastic. My fashion icons, they include the Spice Girls, Madonna, and Nirvana. I went to see Jurassic Park with my friends in a movie theater. Tickets were only $4. Can you believe it? $4 whole. I almost left. It was an outrage. I hope these prices stay at this level or go down. And groceries. Don't get me started on groceries. 1 dozen eggs, 87 cents. And a gallon of milk was $2.86, so it was awful. And another price that just keeps increasing are the gas prices. Gas was $1.11 for 1 gallon of gas. I mean, I only make $3.35. That's minimum wage. How am I supposed to afford that? When I'm not working, I hang out with my friends. We play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and we listen to Lenny Kravitz and Sting. And we make each other a lot of mixtapes. The other day I went to the library because I couldn't remember my best friend's favorite song. I knew it was Rain, but I couldn't remember who sang it. Now I know it's Madonna. Thank you, library. Life in 1993 was pretty great, but I'll probably miss it. Next year should be pretty good.
We reviewed what happened in 1993. Now let's take a quick look at what's to come in 1994. There's lots to come next year in 1994. There are new and exciting things to look forward to, as well as tragedy to prepare for. First, some big stories in the news in 1994. The Islamic terrorists who attacked the World Trade Center last year will be convicted in early March. The U.S. Supreme Court will make headlines in the end of June when they approve a limit on abortion protests. Olympic ice skater Nancy Kerrigan will be attacked in January, and her attackers will lead back to skating rival Tanya Harding's ex-husband. O.J. Simpson will be arrested for the killing of his wife as well as a friend in June. Another story that will make headlines is the suicide of beloved American songwriter and lead singer of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, on April 5th. And then later that same month, on April 22nd, America will be faced with another death when former President Richard Nixon passes away. The 1994 will bring happier times too, such as the marriage between iconic singer Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, and pop star Michael Jackson. There will also be lots going on in the world of pop culture. 1994 will bring the premiere of a number of TV shows that will continue to be popular for some time. A few of these include Friends, All That, Sister Sister, ER, Party of Five, and Ellen. There also will be very memorable movies brought out in 1994, such as Santa Claus, Forrest Gump, The Lion King, The Little Rascals, and Pulp Fiction. The #1 song of the year will be The Sign by Ace of Base, and other popular songs will include Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls by TLC, Loser by Beck, Hero by Mariah Carey, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John. Another exciting aspect of the year will be sports. The Dallas Cowboys will defeat Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl, and the Houston Rockets will win the NBA championship. And the whole MLB season will be canceled due to a strike. More things to expect in 1994 include lots of new and popular children's toys, such as the life-size Bride Barbie doll, Play-Doh cookie oven, Hollyville Superset, and many different kinds of digital journals and computer games. There will also include a major leap in personal computer, as well as in Macintosh history when Apple Computer released the first Macintosh computer to use the new PowerPC microprocessors.